Motion is an important aspect of many designs. In Capture, we have two tools created specifically to help you simulate motion on stage. In the Library tab, under the Built-in category, you can find the DMX Mover and Rotator objects. Let's start with using the DMX Mover. I'm going to drag and drop that and place it next to the Fox to help it avoid the UFO. Before we start working with the mover, we want to take a look at its properties, specifically its range settings. These control how far we can move an object using the DMX mover. In this example, I'm going to set it to 6 by 6 by 6 meters. The DMX mover has been created so that it is, or in order to be patched to DMX, but in this example I'm not going to go through with that, but I want to point out that we have the DMX mode property here, where you can select different DMX modes, and of course a patch property as well for entering a DMX address. But I'm going to proceed with manual control in Capture. In order to have the Fox controlled by the DMX mover, we need to select the Fox and change its motion fixture property. This should be set to the mover we just added. In a design with many movers or rotators, it's a good practice to name them all so that you can keep them apart. But since we only have one in this example, I didn't bother with that, so I can simply proceed with selecting the only mover that we have. Once I've done that, I can either control the mover using DMX if it's patched, or with the manual controls in the control pane if it's not patched. So now I have control over the position of the Fox using its X, Y, and Z parameters. Oh, no. There we go. Now, I also mentioned the DMX rotator, so let's take a look at what we can do with that as well. I'm going to drag and drop that and place it right above the UFO and make it spin. In the case of the rotator, as opposed to the mover, it is important where it is placed because rotation happens around a specific center. So I've placed it roughly at the center of the UFO. Next, I select the UFO. I select the rotator as its motion fixture. I go back to the rotator, where we now have a rotation parameter that can be used to rotate the UFO. You can see that the rotation is slightly tilted, and that's because the rotator isn't aligned with the UFO. I could have fixed that by also tilting the DMX rotator in order to match the angle of the UFO. Thank you so much for watching.